You're disappointing right now. So stop messaging me, yeah? I'm tired. Had a good night out. You've obviously lay there, took your fucking medication. In fact, I'm going to say you're as bad as Decker, yeah? Taking fucking perfect tire pain and all that shit, yeah? For another
shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play
woods.
Hello, everybody. This is my humble opinion drying out. Well, it's been an eventful morning. Just woken up to Crystal Beth sending me voice notes upon voice note upon voice note, telling me not to contact him, and sending him another voice note, another voice note, another voice note. Oh dear. Anyway, God, thought I was bad. God, he makes me look. Makes you look like a mute. Sharp. And he talks, I'm going to call him mumble dryer. Because I thought I was bad for mumbling, but oh my God. See, like this man mumbles on voice notes when Beth Head is out of his head on his way home. But by the way, heads up to anyone who's in Bali at the moment, because apparently he's wandering around there, but I wouldn't think too much about that. He never says where he really is. Actually, the AI videos and screen recording videos and putting them up with his voice over the top of it, everything in New York. So basically, he is calling me a grass. Check the irony of this out. He's calling me a grass and then contradicting himself in the same sentence, saying that he knows coppers and he's going to have me deported within 2 weeks. That's that expression, you couldn't make this shit up, which I don't agree with, because this stuff could only be made up. God, Jesus. He's said multiple times he's going to call Interpol up and have me deported. Don't know what for exactly. Oh, he said I threatened him. Well, I haven't seen any threats from me. I've offered him a sporty fights. I told him I prefer violence than hiding behind a keyboard. Well, I mean violence. I mean like sport violence. But he might have read too much into that. Especially because he's trying to get me nicked. Good morning. If anybody's blocked, I have to check my laptop. Apparently, a few people are blocked. They shouldn't be blocked, so I have to double check. So cool. Oh, it's just so. Look, this ain't over. I'm gonna call you Barney Gumble, because you're out your nut like 24/7. Or Mr. Bethamphetamine. No, it's just too obvious. Just call you Crystal. Crystal, it's a nice girl's name for what you moonlighting as nighttime. The lady boy selling your doot doot. That's the only way I can see you making money without your supergrass. Now, you asked me, you said you want to do a live and explain why I think tumbles are grass. Well, this is my opinion, and it's only my opinion. It's not factual, just an opinion. My opinion is he's getting weighed in by the boys in blue, by the busies. I believe his income is only as good as his information. So he needs to keep feeding the busies information. Now, one of the ways you can, the information, that the busy would want would come from places like prisons, like, behind the door, as they say. Now, he's got a record of paying people, giving people money that are inside, people that have been banged up, people that are going for a hard time inside. He's got a record of giving people money, to just random people. Ash being the latest one. Let's just call him Cash, because he'll set anyone up for 50 pence. And I think it's going to be long before they're not fall out anyway. He obviously doesn't. I mean, I thought he'd done his research into people. You can't try and tame someone like Cash or Rash or someone that needs cash to get rid of his rash. It's like trying to cure someone that's been, diagnosed with, stuff. When dogs bite each other. I've got to be careful not using my words here because ninjas are out in full effect. When dogs bite and and they'll start frothing at the mouth later, and then they go really aggressive, and then eventually they pass out forever from it. It's like trying to cure something like that. Someone like Rash, with that kind of rash and axe, it can't be cured. People have tried before, and people have tried to help that geezer before. Turns out anyway. So anyway, what I believe he's done is, I believe he's because it was no secret that he was having a hard time during his last visit, during his last holiday away, and all of a sudden, Tumble comes out of nowhere. They come out, they're best friends. Now, for a supergrass, I think you probably, if he wanted to move to another country and live in the sun, and have constant income, he might have to recruit people below him, recruit people into his little firm. So I believe what he's done is it's just the ones that we know about, people on YouTube. I reckon he's weighed that cash with an ash with a ashtray in. Weighed that ashtray in, and he's now feeding him the info that he wants, maybe from gossip, from inside, or stuff, anything that he can use to give to the busies, that he can drip feed to the busies, which can finance his lifestyle out here. I mean, you've got all this money, so where's it coming from? You follow the money, you follow, and you look at his behaviour, and things will definitely start to make sense. Now you got this you got my humble opinion that this man's been given a handler name. I don't know, let's just make one up. I don't know. Let's call it a random word. Humble crier, humble Danny Dyer. I don't know. And I'll read the comments in a minute. And you realise this is just my humble opinion, is that he's recruited people to feed him information, the puppet master, because now I've got it on record that he's definitely a grass. He's threatened to call Interpol had me deported, trying to say that I threatened him, which I'd never threatened him. Always offered him one-on-one, face-to-face, sit down for a coffee, meet in the ring, whatever. And because I put it on his toes, because he's got no way out of it, because he knows that I'm not going to stop, he's resorted to the one last thing he can do. Pick up that bloody phone and press those golden 3 numbers. They're so golden to him. Try and get me moved. Well, guess what? Even if you did get that done, which I don't, which is impossible, you think I'm going to stop? You only just get worse. But, you'll cross that bridge when you get to it. But first, I'm just going to expose you for the grass that you are. Do you remember my channel was Grass is Nonsense Exposed? I never said that you're a bacon boss. Never said that. I mean, I don't know, you could be, but I don't know. I mean, anyone could be. But as far as I can see, I haven't seen any evidence that you are. Seen a few accusations. I've never seen any evidence. And as regarding the Clare's Law, I just said, in my humble opinion, if you're going to have someone do a Clare's Law and a Sarah's Law on you, you should be able to do one back against the person which did it, so you can both, make sure both of you are legitimate. I'm gutted. Well, yeah. I don't worry, man. There'll be plenty more shit coming on. What age did you become a gangster? Are you? Oh no, I'm no gangster, man. Just a man who's looking after his family, man. I would never want to be a gangster. I don't affiliate myself with groups of people that have to live by a certain set of rules within the fucking rules of the land, within the rules of the group, within the rules within rules within rules. I live by my own rules. I live by the rules of right and wrong. And what I've seen, it's just like, I don't know, let's just say, for example, I was to become a gangster. It wouldn't be by choice. It'd be because I was drawn into that world by a third party or something like that. You look at some of these films where they make stories up about gangsters and stuff, and now they're like drawn into it by mistake. I think there's one in Liverpool, based in Liverpool. It's not a real story, where the local hard man was after him, and he carried a tool and he wasn't going to take no crap. And he walked out the pub thinking a bloke would follow him. A copper tapped on the shoulder. He assumed it was him. He turned around and lumped him and ended up going down doing a bit of burden. And whilst he was inside, he met some people and they put a little team together and then started a life of crime. So it was just like, sometimes you never know what's going to happen in life. I didn't even know I was going to end up in bloody Thailand. But at this moment in time, I'm not a gangster. And neither do I even want to be. Or the other way is people are just born into that world. God, his coffee's gone off now. Never buy expensive coffee, man, because it just goes off after a while. I can't drink this shit, man. You're on the sink. Humble. That's where you belong. Oh, piece of shit. So, Humble's been messaging me all morning saying how he's going to grass me up. He's also said that how he pays bribes to certain people, which is going to go down well for him if he does want to go down that route, because they're going to have to look at the whole chat. I haven't threatened to grass no one up. In fact, he told me the Italians were top dogs. The Albanians ruler. Yeah, I know, but that Christopher Socks like that game is not for me, man. It's I mean, you're talking about like proper organised people that that it's not really the Cosa Nostra anymore. It's more Gomorrah in Italy, and they are proper ruthless. The Albanians and all that. I'm not about that life, man. I just deal with the threats as they come to me, and I look when I see someone's been done an injustice. I always say evil can only work if decent people look the other way. And what I've seen is persistent injustice. Lincoln the Bird. I believe Smith and Wesson are quite a big cartel, and they're legal. Oh, I don't know. I fucking got sidetracked then. My ADHD apparently. But I mean, you wouldn't want to go real gangster. You got to look at the legitimate firms. What was it they said in The Sopranos? It's the big corporations that run the world. They're the real big ones. Also, Frankie Fraser was a stand-up man until. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Christopher, but then Frankie Fraser was accusing Dave Courtney of being a grass, and then that's what happens. One person accuses someone of being a grass, and they do it back. I don't know. The thing about Dave Courtney, he's quite convincing, and he can sell water to people and say it's wine. I mean, he did used to sell water for for £3-4 a pop during the rave days. There's all tap water. I thought people. I don't know. Man, I think thing is in that world, like in the normal world, you call someone a bacon, like, but use the real. You don't use the cockney when you call them this or that. That's really offensive. Or you even call someone a liar. It's really offensive in the real world. In the crime world, you call someone a grass. It's like the worst thing you can call someone. So if they really hate each other, they're just going to grass each other off. I mean, not literally, but you know what I mean. Oh, I don't know. I'm not that directly invested in that kind of stuff. Just see from the outside. I think on the inside, off the screens and all that, there's probably a whole lot more to a lot of things, including that stuff. Anyway, back to my humble opinion. I've also noticed a pattern of people that associate themselves with humble with, shall I call them humble, who won't turn up for the rumble in the jungle. Rather call the old Bill instead. One thing I've noticed about the people that are on his team, they're all got snitchy tendencies. BA fact notification. If you call someone a grass, then you are. I can't see that. Grass on a grass. You're grassing on a grass, making you so grass. Dear. No, I mean what I'm saying is look, if somebody does grass you up, and you end up, being charged or whatever, then you have to fight your case. Then you have to prove that you're innocent by showing that the person that grassed you up is actually the guilty person. Then that's just the way it goes. You got to do it to stay out of prison, especially by the people that are trying to put you in prison for false pretenses. True chap. But Humble's trying to label half of YouTube police informers that don't like him. But the pattern, I just said that, the pattern of people which follow him all definitely have snitchy tendencies. Even his new gang of his new recruits that used to be former friends of mine. But I'm not going to go into that. Starting to wonder. I've been talking to coppers for the last 2 years without realising I've been coerced into giving up my information freely to trained biddies. Oh my God. I'm actually generally concerned. I'm not saying that to slander someone or anyone. I'm generally concerned because Fucking hope not. All I can say is I hope not. All right, fuming. I don't know Humble, but he seems quite loyal to say the least. Well, my humble opinion that's drying out as we speak is code name dryer. My humble opinion on the dryer is that someone using that anagram is definitely old Bill. He just threatened to grasp me up this morning. He's actually threatened me with the causes. This person who associates themselves with crime families, he's actually got him on record here saying he's going to grasp me, call Interpol on me. They say you have psychological tendencies, Jimmy. What the fuck, Jimmy? Are you a psychopath after 2 murders? Look, if people are still running that, I'm not on the run for any kind of any crime. Carson TV with Darren. Yeah, well, my past isn't really that bad. It's a little bit loopy, but it's not that bad. It's not bad. I'll put a link out. Probably early hours of the morning. There's not much noise in my house. I can whack a link on. Okay, no, Humble, you can even jump on as well if you want. No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm not having you on it because you might start mentioning names of big crime families that I don't want to associate myself with. I mean, you can go down that road, Humble, but not me. I'm not going down that road of mentioning. I don't even like mentioning the family in the comments that you're allegedly associated with the sailor. That's not my. It's not my thing. It's just personal between me and you. And the reason why it's personal between me and you is because you're going after friends of mine. You know, which I consider close friends now, a lot closer than what I was. But I had to get closer to them because I actually realised that these people are proper loyal people. And they really do have my back, and I've got their back 100%. And they're definitely not coppers. 100%. They're not police informers, unlike you, Humbles. You know, people that shout the most. You threatened to grasp me up just now. I know some other stuff about you. I'm just waiting for the permission to be able to put it out there. Maybe people put it out there themselves. But I'm not the only person you threatened with the police, am I? How about no you am talking about? Oh. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Carson TV. Carson TV, was you on a live with Joey? I want to say his second name because I know he doesn't like being involved in the drama. If so, are you from Scotland? Yeah, I know. And the yeah, I remember you because you had the same name as somebody else, and you went through hell because of it. Man. Quite lucky, Humble didn't get hold of that one. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, fair play to him. And fucking this man here, Carson TV, he went through absolute hell just because he had the same name as somebody that was convicted of wrongdoings, and he actually went through hell, man, absolute hell, when he wasn't even the person which was which people thought he was. God, geez, this is why that News of the World got in trouble because years ago, like they published the names and addresses, or names and addresses of paedophiles. Problem is that some people, because a lot of people got the same living names in the UK, so a lot of people got wrongly attacked and their windows got done in. and all kinds of stuff just because they had the same names. I'll put through it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow. See, this is why when I first came onto YouTube, I didn't even, if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't even know who Decca Heggie is. I'll be honest with you, but I came in the middle and he was doing podcasts, all kinds of people, and then slowly these people were just moving away from him, but it wasn't like all in one go. So I thought, before, someone gets, non-stop, maybe I want to see for myself, is this geezer guilty or not? So that's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt. That's why I listened to his story, see if it made sense, and listened to his excuses, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and he tried to mug me off. Well, I mugged him off. Well, I didn't mug him off. I didn't allow him to mug me off. He probably thought I wanted to become a celebrity and didn't care whether he's guilty or not. But no, that's not the case. I don't want to be a celebrity. Never ever be friends with a bacon. Yeah. I heard a rumour you lost temper in us. Look, forget all that stuff. And it was a rumour. That's it. I'm not on the run for any crimes, especially ones against killing gay people. Jesus Christ. Look, if I did ever have a problem with someone, it wouldn't be because of their sexual orientation or race or anything like that. It'd be a problem with them because of something they'd done or said or threatened or something like that. If someone threatened to do something to my family and they happened to be gay, black, Chinese, white, fat, thin, yellow, brown, red, they're still going to get the same treatment. What the hell? Hang on. I heard a rumor. Someone because they gave you a. Christopher Socks. Sometimes I like the lies. I like the lies and the rumours more than the truth. The truth is my life is a lot more boring than YouTube. The myth about me is a lot more boring than the truth. Sorry to disappoint people. And four hot tablets. Jesus Christ. This is a man who's been through them. See, this is about right and wrong, and I'll back someone like this 100% because they are 100. This person here is 100% innocent. 100%. And in fact, you need to spend more time on YouTube if possible, just promoting your and even online, offline, spreading awareness exactly who you are and who you ain't. In fact, if you can actually find out who the actual where the actual real person is, then when somebody turns up looking for that person, you can actually divert them to that person. Just say, look, this person. Oh, he's probably changed his name. I thought there's a lot. I think there's a lot more too, isn't there? I shouldn't really comment too much on this. There's probably a lot I don't know. And I thought I know the real person has probably changed his name by default. So he's only one of you, which makes it even worse. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting, isn't it? And Tumble, I've never nonced you off. You're going on in the voice notes as if I'd nonced you off. I haven't. I wouldn't nonce you off unless I had proof. I'm saying that the person that read out your Clara's law needs to do a Sarah's law. Unless, of course, they got something to hide, then wouldn't do it. But the only time I'd ever have a Claire's law or a Sarah's law done against me is if, I'd let anyone do it, to be honest, because anyone could have it done to anyone. But I know I ain't no threat to women and children. In Thailand, in England, anywhere, Scotland, Wales. Yeah, Christopher Socks. It's because he shares the same name as one of those people. There's two people with the same first name and second name. One of them has done horrendous crimes. The other one hasn't. This Carson TV here is the one that hasn't. I think that. Before I go, put a link out one more time, just in case anybody wants to jump on. I don't know, I can't be bothered. I'm going to say one more time, and if certain people out there keep mentioning me and Emma Cockerell, I'm going to keep coming back here. And Fanta, if your cheeky little comment where I shared somebody's clip on my community post, the link to somebody's clip, and it wasn't even that slanderous or anything. It was just, Babs gets triggered and leaves the panel. I found it funny because I couldn't remember it, and everybody was quiet around her, and she was reading the comments out. She left. I couldn't remember it. But and then you wrote a cheeky comment underneath saying, "Man, I'm going to put some videos up about you from the past. That should be a laugh." So I find if you want an excuse to do that, do it. But remember that. So what do you want me to do, Banner? Do you want me to allow your missus to talk about me on multiple platforms, me and Emma Cockerell, and nonce me off and threaten to make a whole channel up about me, doxing my family, but innocent people around me and everything. I wasn't even on those panels where you said that. I wasn't even in the chat, and you expect me just to sharing a community on my community post a clip which was quite amusing. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to react or counter or do anything. You expect me to keep my mouth shut, do you, Banner? Do you expect me to just allow your missus to, threaten me online, offline? You expect her to nonce me off? You expect me just to let me sit back and take that? It don't work like that. So I'll tell you what, this is what I've said on a video, and I'm going to say it again now. If you want to make a channel up about me, doxing me and everything, and now then you make your first move, because after you've done that, then it's my turn. But ladies first, you go first, and after you've done your and that thing with you and Merman, don't you try and the public out there, and I know that General, I know your opinion on it, and I know that General, you haven't been here for as long. You haven't seen you might have been watching from the outside, but you haven't seen some of the deeper shit that's been going on. There is no way on earth that Babs has forgiven Merman. I know how Babs thinks. I've talked to her very closely for the last 2 years or more. It's a strategic move to go against me because I made a comment, because she knows I'm not going to forgive Merman for what she done. I mean, she allegedly falsely accused a man of rape. That's why she got nicked. So that makes her extremely bloody dangerous. And if you think, and it was us that were given orders to not be friends with her. Now, I could have sat on a panel with a mermaid over the years and talked to her like without being friends with her, and if it went off into a verbal, back and forth, and so be it. And if it was talking about football or boxing or fucking washing, cooking, cleaning, I don't know, I could have gone on. I can do that. I can talk to people on panels that I don't even like without feel like I have to go in on them depending on who the channel host is and respect for the channel host. And but we was given specific orders to make sure she doesn't come back on YouTube. Now remember this, mermaid, whatever nickname that she gave you. And plus all those things that I said about, you being, intelligence and blah, blah. Look, it's obvious you're not. There's me winding you up because some of the stuff you were saying to me about go and duck my 5-year-old child, things like that, which I was always reminded of, what she said and the amount of abuse that came on Chris the Briggs channel. And I'm not going to mention Chris. I'll mention Chris the Briggs channel because that's where it happened. I know me and him have got a thing, we don't mention each other, but I got to mention this because it happened at that channel where he brought her on the panel with Celtic, and I was shocked. I was shocked that Mermaid was there, but we're all talking civilly, and I was just confused, so I had to leave. And the amount of abuse that Chris got for that, unbelievable. I know he got it because she called me up and she said, I can't believe she brought her back on. He's brought the monster back onto the community. He's done that. I can't believe he's done it. So, remember, Merman, I don't think you've forgiven her either because, you were going in pretty deep on each other. So, I reckon you both strategically, you make a good pair when you work and engage with each other. But when you fall out, oh my God, that'll be the time to get the popcorn out. So, no, I would never apologise to Mermaid. And now I will never, ever apologise to Radio Babs. And Banner, I don't know what to make about you. I've reached out about multiple times to look for a peaceful resolution. And every time I've done it, it's almost like you read it backwards. I mean, I wrote a community post before I went to bed a few weeks ago, like saying, oh, maybe it's best we go our separate ways, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, then I got a message off someone that messaged me saying, does Jimmy want to go to war? I declare war. It's like, how did you read war into that? I just basically said, like, it is what it is. We go our separate ways. And then you say, do I want to go to war? I'm like, what? That doesn't even make fucking sense, man. I mean, I thought you lot were intelligent. Ugh. I thought I was supposed to be the bloody retard. Doesn't make no sense. Yeah, Mr. Blue, I'm just reading the comments now. And then I made another reach out a few days ago through someone who's probably got back to her, and then rather than the tempo going down that night, she went on. Babs went on a few panels, nonsense me off. I got messages from other people in the morning, like telling me what's going on. And I know someone didn't get messaged. Someone was gone from other clip channels. No, it was that. It was just I got the end of it because that gay bloke, I've forgotten his name, came on and threatened to dox Babs. And before he came on, she was talking about me. She's going to make up a channel about me. So I got that from that clip channel. But look. Do I want to go to war with them? Straightforward answer, no. Am I forced to go to war with them? Straight answer, possibly yes. Because they don't want peace. The only way I see peace now is if we just stop mentioning each other. But every time I go to bed and wake up, that pissed up bloody bitch fucking starts ranting her mouth about me. And Emma as well. Emma even removed those videos and those posts 2 days ago. What happened? Coming up even more stronger. It seems like you lot take kindness as a weakness. Well, people that take kindness as a weakness are the weakest kinds of people. And I'm only responsible for what I say and do. Now, if you piss other people off and they react, somehow you always tie that in to my fault. All I try to do, even from the beginning of this fallout, is try to protect you lot because I still got my blooming morals. It's got to the point where you're unprotectable. I can't protect you no more. Can't protect people out there. You've caused so much problems with this divide. Rather than just keeping your mouth shut and letting things pan out naturally. You just carry on doing what you're doing, and you going from panel to panel. I wouldn't have bothered you, but now I see you nonce me off, and now I've heard some more other things shit that's going on, which is unforgivable. I would never apologise to you, Babs, never. And Banner, I don't know what's going on in your head right now, man. I really don't know. I'll sit back and wait on that one. I know you're going to protect your missus, but I mean, I don't see how you can sit there and make any sense of any of this shit that your missus is up to, because all this is unnecessary. None of this shit had to bloody happen. Morning, Patrick. Tim B. I'm going to read the comments out now and then, not out loud, but read them. Please tell us how your path started. Fine. Oh, hang on. Over here. Morning, Mr. Blues. I shouldn't bring other people's families into it. Yeah, I know. I think it's just going really deep. The fact she threatened to dox my family. I know she knows who more about my family than anybody else on YouTube. So I know that she's got I know what she knows about me. I know what she can dox about me. So the fact that I'm talking like this tells you I don't actually give a shit. But if you start doxing me and making channels up, then it's my turn to counter. I'd rather be where I am than where you are. But you make your first move. We were past tense, BB. Thought you and Babs were mates. Not anymore. She's got this obsessional hatred for Emma Cockrell, and she's got a bigger hatred for me for talking to Emma Cockrell, which is it's just madness. I can't even get my head around why this obsessional hatred has come into play. I don't know, but it's managed to cause us lot to depart. So 12 weeks ago again. Carson TV. Never mind. A friend wouldn't do that. So she wasn't. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's just weird, she talked to loads of people I don't like. She's twisting all the blimmin' stories as well, saying that I told them they can't go on Axles and Ashes. I've never said that. I've said it 1,000 times. I was messaged saying, please stay, asking me to stay off Axles and Ashes because I was causing trouble in there. And Banter wanted to go on there, so it was too awkward for him to go on there if I got my beef with him. I'm sorry, I'm not going to squash my beef with him just so, me can go out and have a playtime. Never said he couldn't go on it. Go on if he wants. Many years ago, trying to muscle in. Yeah, I know. But I might have the same thing. I think myself my friend. Yeah, I know. It's just, but the thing is that what I believe Merman done is, look, she's trying to get that. What I believe is a sympathy card. She's acting like she's crying and she's tearful about her life. I'm not fucking surprised. Could you imagine what would happen if that geezer got banged up in jail for something he hadn't done, for that kind of alleged crime, which he was allegedly accused of, allegedly. Could you imagine how his life would have been messed up if she managed to convince people that was true? So, no, that's borderline fucking bacon behaviour. Don't do it. Look what's happened to Carson TV just for sharing the same name as somebody that was convicted of those horrible things and the shit he's been through. You know, she could have destroyed her ex-boyfriend's life just because she was butthurt about her dumping him. Oh, sorry, him dumping her. Sorry. Crazy, man. It's crazy. But I'm here for the weather. The weather is fine. That sound like a professional weather report, fact notification. Or should call you fact not fiction. What do I think? Fact not. I don't know. They believe if you read the first letter and the last letter of any word, you can normally make out exactly what the word is. But that's like 3 words joined together. A lot of folk have not come into my channel because. So I'm going to share your channel, Carson TV, with Darren. Shows. Yeah, I know. I was consistently being told what to do. Consistently being told to remove this video, remove that video, go to this channel, go to that channel. But I didn't mind it at the time because I regarded her as a friend. So, and I believed that she was watching my back as well. You got Tim B. I'd like that comment, so in case certain people see it later. Fact notification, you need to open your mind a bit to that, and like what's happening now has got nothing to do with his past. And you can't say that people on here, that nobody on here is involved in that fucking life of, you know, chemical life. I think about 90% of people on here are involved in that kind of stuff. So you can't single him out because he was quite good at his job at the time. But I think what's happening now is nothing to do with that. But I'll tell you what, if there is a gap in the market for decent debt collectors out there, I'll tell you. Because when you don't want to go through the courts, because, you know, the courts are not always fair when it comes to civil disputes. And people, it levels out the game when you can go to proper debt collectors that can that don't mind going the extra mile for you and will risk going to prison for you and stuff like that, man. You know, the geezer was even running for mayor at one point, regardless of what people think of him. I mean, I can't be that hated in his town at the time. Yeah, I know, you're right. Tim B. No, Tim B, I'm going to open up my phone. I'm going to mod you up. I need some support now. Because this situation I'm heavily invested in. Reason being is because of so many people that are against her, which are now against me. And I will not back down. I will never surrender. I'm an East Ender. I ain't no pretender. I don't retreat, nor do I surrender. How to do this? Oh, God. Why can't I open my bloody video? Did you think? But first of all, I'm going to share Carson TV's channel. Subscribe. But first of all, I'm going to share a link. I got a link to Carson TV channel. Ain't doing Problems ain't doing what others were doing. Comes way well, but when you have changes, it doesn't. Yeah, I know. The thing is, Carson TV is these attacks on the house. They're nothing to do with his past. It's fucking cowardly behaviour. You know, at the end of the day, these people are attacking a house with vulnerable people inside it and a woman who's got to be on her toes 24/7. It's disgusting. So, you know, I live a long way away, but I would do anything I can to promote, to raise awareness about this. So, you know, if there's any good people in that area or in that round that way that want to give us support or whatever, then I'm trying to gain momentum, get support for her, because at the moment she's putting up. The reason why I like Emma, one of the main reasons, is that everything that she said, she can back up with facts. Everything. Whereas Humbles has told me loads of stuff where he's been trying to groom me, and nothing's backed up. He said he's got like hundreds of emails of people thanking him every day. He's got 99 emails, and then he refreshes another 99. I think that's what you call spam. Humble spam. Probably people trying to sell you a dishwasher or a tumble dryer or something. You know, because I see the humble dryer and I think maybe you're in that humble dryer business. I don't know. Good morning. Problem is what's been going on. What you see on YouTube is a small window as to what's going on. This is why I used to believe the stuff about Paddy before. I don't believe it now because I've got more of an insight as to what's going on, and that stuff about Paddy, which I'm so glad I never. There's only one thing I do thank Babs about, is telling me to back off, because I've definitely revised my views again about him, because the thing that got me was the computer stuff, and now I know that whole thing was a complete and utter hoax. And how he's dealt with it is, I don't know, man. You got to have the patience of a saint to deal with that kind of stuff. Just because decided he's going to stop robbing. I think you'll find fact notification he was more of a referee at the time. I don't think he was really robbing people. I think a lot of the time he was either chasing people that weren't legitimate about their making sure things went through properly. I don't think he was robbing people, and he'd take his little cut in the middle. People have been doing it for years. I mean, look at Rise and Fall of Foot Soldier. I mean, they used to mind things like that all the time. Yeah, I'm about to I'm about to piss off myself. Yeah, well, you got to remember when those McIntyre documentary also stitched up Jason Mariner with the camera in the car, got him 6 years in prison. You got to remember, people that. But I did an interview on the BBC before. It never got aired, thank God. But the amount of editing they put in that video, when you start, if ever anyone's worked who's given an interview to the mainstream media and actually got real experience with them, you really get to see how much they can manipulate a documentary or an interview or anything. And they move things around. I mean, you look at that geezer from Australia, that Tommy supporter. Forgotten his name, where he put his phone up in the corner and he interviewed himself. And the person that was interviewed, he secretly put his video on record whilst he's being interviewed by some mainstream media channel. And what he said in real time did not match one little bit what was said, which was aired. It was heavily edited. They were asking questions and swapping the answers to different questions that already aren't asked. So people like that McIntyre, be very, very careful about trusting anything that he puts out. Because, I saw my bit when, look, no offense to Ben Hatchett, but Ben Hatchett did try to mug me off with that video. I mean, he told me he wasn't filming it, and he was. And the bit where I stopped, he said, "Do you want to carry on?" I stopped because he was walking backwards towards the cage door, and if I kept walking backwards, he would have fallen out. So of course I want to carry on. And then he played that clip twice, and that was just a low end of the editing market. So, anyway, I'm gonna blow now. Anyway, keep your opinions. Your opinions are yours. That Dan Riley's gone live now, so don't know what state he's in at the moment. You want to see somebody's mental health? Check him out and give us your analysis. Catch you later, everybody. Bye bye.